some famous blogger who it works for a magazine or something, I'm not sure, has done an article about the Golden Girl guest house. Don't know this person, have no connection to it. I haven't looked at Facebook all day, and I look down and I break out in a sweat. I'm like, why have 1,000 people tagged me? What is, like, it's either really good or not. Something's going on. And it's all the same, taking me to the same place. Did you see this? Lori Ward Harrison, did you see this? And I'm like, what is going on? And I start reading it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, someone who is a blogger is like, hey, grab your best girlfriends, we'll bring the cheesecake. And it's been shared 518 times or something like that, 530 times, I'm not sure, but I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, I gotta go live. I tag my husband and my daughter in it, and I'm like, y'all look at what I tagged you in, and then I go live. But on the way home from Hobby Lobby, I have to back up. I'm like, God, tell me what I need to talk about, what needs to be addressed. And it was so basic. God was like, hit the high points of goal setting, but also people need to know how to do the basics. And I was like, okay, like, you know, send, share, invite. And I felt this like shift. No. The basics. And I'm like, okay. They need to know what their website is. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I've fallen short. Like, sometimes I don't send people really need in the beginning. And this is what we're talking about right now. Okay. In the beginning, your new friend who has been sponsored on your team, you need to send them a text that says, when someone asks you a question, oh, look, Graciela has a sheet. Yeah, girl. Is that the one that's in the back office? Is that one that's from the back office, or is that something? She goes, no. Does anybody know where that's from?
I made it. So
that's why I don't recognize it. I'm like, I don't know where that was.
So I'm gonna upload it later. Okay? I try to do it like the name, their ID number, obviously the login, their email, and password if they know it.
Okay.
So I'll upload it later.
Do you send that as a file through an email or something?
Like, this person is local, I'm gonna go and give it to her, but if not, I just send it, you know, in like a file.
So local people, you would print it out for them. You could attach it as a file. That's awesome. I think that would be a great thing. I also think that everyone should have access to simple wording that they can copy and paste that just says, for example, let's say the hairdresser thing happens. You go, I don't want to sell Plexus. Okay, well, you have your wholesale account, order what you want. They show up at their hairdresser, and their hairdresser's like, girl, what are you doing? Your hair has so much, like, it's so much thicker. And they're like, oh, shoot, I don't know what to do. Well, those people, they need to have, in that instance, they just need to know what their link is so that they can authentically talk about it and then say, this is where you can get you some. Or if it's someone who says, I saw you in town today, or girl, I've been noticing your pictures, your skin looks radiant, what are you doing? They need to have something that's super simple that says, here's access to my catalog. This is the company I represent. This is access to the catalog, and has their link and the 3 little graphics that I shared this week, which I totally borrowed from Brienne Coolidge. Face jacked. You call it face jacking. I face jacked those from Brienne Coolidge. I think they were originally hers. Beautiful graphics that they can just send on. And it makes it simple that someone can just click the 3 little lines. They need to have something super streamlined and simple, basic, not overwhelming. Now, right now we're focusing on, we've got the Beauty Inside Out group. That particular event is going quite well. There's a lot of interaction. People who have not been consistent in their products, perhaps they have been taking the products but hadn't seen consistent results because maybe they weren't drinking their water, whatever the thought might be, whatever might be going on with them. now we're seeing some moving forward, and we're only just a few days into this. So, I mean, it's only a 10-day group, but I'm also considering doing another one-night event, kind of a back-to-school event. I'm trying to figure out when to do it and scheduled. It would be just like I said, like a 1-hour, one-night event that we can get information in people who have, who have basically gotten consistent on their products, and they might be seeing results and might be interested in sharing now. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Ooh, I like that. If y'all read what Erin said, she said, a Jewel shared the idea to make a digital business card. So all that entails is a picture of you, and then you write your link, email, and phone number on the picture using word swag. That's awesome. Especially if you could send that and a clickable link. That would be like everything, right? All right. That way they can look at it. It's beautiful. It has all the, as my daughter says, aesthetics. It has all the aesthetics of all the things. And then you can also click it. Boom and boom. Okay. Next, we have the Mastermind series that we're going to discuss very briefly, because if you didn't watch that video, you're going to be like lost if I take off talking about the video. And it's early this week, like Monday is when the video dropped. And if you hadn't had a chance to watch it yet, I'm not going to kick you in the butt over that. I could be doing these a week behind where we can really get into it. But this particular one, me discussing it after I watched it, me going into great detail discussing what she already told you is a waste of cassette tape. Do you see what I'm saying? It was a lot about how to use your back office that is way about 1,000,000 times better than anything I could tell you, because I'm not the best at the back office. But the way that she went about it, those ladies went about it, it's perfect if you're interested and want to know more how to dig in, how to track things, so I'm doing a little advertisement for it. If you hadn't watched it yet, even though it is a lengthy video, it is definitely worth your time. And this is going to be a 4-week series, and your only requirement to be part of this series is to watch that video each week. So it's not like 4 weeks of doing something every day. So if you can block out a time each week, even if it's on your drive time, although the back office one would probably be smart to do at home, so that you can actually follow along while they do it. But I thought that was a really brilliant video. I hope if you haven't watched it that you do watch it. So that's the Gold Mastermind series. It never hurts to do what someone's doing who is a double diamond, I always say. You know what I'm saying? There are worse ways to do the business than to follow the lead of someone who's done it twice, and I think done it for her husband almost to that. I mean, it's like, what? She's crazy. She's crazy good at what she does, and I have a mad respect for her. So, by the way, if you're a newer person and you watch that video and you were a little bit like, help me, Jesus, because it's a little bit, she is a double diamond, not a silver, and she's talking to people who really want to rank up. And so if it felt overwhelming, pluck from it the high points, like how to log in and how to find your back office, like how to find where your team is and how to find those types of things. For now, don't let something like that give you rapid heart. Do you understand? Like that video will be good for file saving for later. So you're like, one of these days. Okay, yeah. You guys remind me that are in my alumni group, and it is a video. I shared it on Monday. I'll share it in my alumni group. It's Brooke Hemingway and Christy Jex, right? Christy Jex, talking about working on the back office. You're not behind. You're not missing out on anything if you haven't watched it yet. It's just good, pertinent information, and I'm excited for you guys to get on there and listen to that. Okay, one moment. The thing I just posted in my team page, and while I'm thinking about it, I'll post it in the alumni group right this second too, so that you guys can look at it if you are able to look at your phone while you're on another device. One moment. Okay. But you don't have to go look at this. It's not a requirement. Allow me about 10 more seconds of your time here. I thought I had it, as I tell my mom, pull it into your finger to cut and paste. I tell her, you have to, once you've cut something, it's in your finger. And then wherever you go put your finger is where you're going to paste it. She's like, you mean I don't have to keep it on Facebook? No, you can put it in an email because it's in your finger. So I've got it in my finger. Now it's on the alumni page. That's a pretty cool little way to look at that, isn't it? Okay. I feel like I took crack today and it's just still active, right? I'm like, it's the good kind of crack. Oh, Lordy. No, but I might have you fill me in a second if you think it's worth talking. Okay. I have been all day long shopping. Not like, oh, glorious shopping. I need some more clothes shopping. I am getting ready there's going to be a little party at my house on Friday evening. Malia has invited the girls that she works with. And suddenly I got nervous because I'm like, oh gosh, these little boutique girls. So I'm just doing stuff. Trust me when I say you're not going to be like, if you walked out over here on Friday night, you wouldn't be like, oh, she did so much. You would be like, what did she do? Because like, there's going to be things like sweeping the porch and putting down a cute rug, those kind of things. Anyway, I was in town all day. So apparently something happened in the ambassador page today that's worth talking about, and I missed it. So we'll talk about that in a second. For now, going back to what I posted in the butterfly page and in the alumni group, it's a picture of a carousel horse, if you're looking for it. And it says the silver carousel how-to. It looks like this, carousel horses. All right. I'm going to glaze down through this with you because this is something we're going to focus on. Since developing silvers is what we are focusing on right now, company-wide, it's the focus. How do I get someone to silver? It's more than posting. It's more than just telling them to make a list. It's doing the send, share, invite system. That can be found in your back office. And if you're one of my people, like one of my level ones, or if you're sponsored by my daughter or whatever, and you want some help on this is something I need to help my daughter with, understand send, share, and invite. It's a system in the back office that I can walk you through. So reach out to me and we'll go over it. But or I can send you a video that probably explain it even better than I do. It's finding the rhythm, pattern, and doing the work. The silver carousel how-to. When a new person that's just posted, ordered, or decided they want to share says, what do I do if someone asks me questions? When someone asks what it is, send this 1-minute video, and there's the link to it. Okay? Then ask them what interests them most about it. The wording there is important. What interested you most about this? Not did you like it or whatever. What interested you the most? That's important. Then whatever they say, like weight loss or autoimmune issues or thyroid, etc., tell me and I'll help you find a health story of someone on our team to validate it for them. So you can ask your upline if we need help finding a particular video, something to share with them. You'll send the picture and a story and say, I've read it helps with that. Here's a story I found that you can send them. If I send it to you, will you send it to them? Then they will say sure and send the story to their mom, sister, best friend, neighbor, whoever asked them. When they've read the story, they will say, wow, that sounds just like me, or wow, that's a really cool story, and then you'll say, I know, I'm so excited to see if I can help you too. I'd recommend you start with the variety pack. It comes with the same products that help this person, plus a few extras that come for free on your first order. Then they will ask, how much is that? Or, oh, cool, I'll do some research and let you know. That's code for, this is important, that is code for, I want to look up the prices. Say, I can give you prices and answer questions better than the website. Are you wanting to know pricing? Tell them $238 plus shipping and tax for one of our triplex deepest savings pack. After that, it's $145 plus shipping and tax for the base products of the triplex and ease. They'll either say it's too much or sign me up. When they say yes, ask if they are free right now to order. If they say it's too much, ask if they'd like to do our 3-day challenge for $6 instead. You would give or mail them 3 sticks of Slim and add them to our Facebook challenge group where we post that. Well, we don't do that particular thing twice a month. I'll have to go back in there and edit. Depending on which trial group is running at that particular time. Ask, would you like to do that instead with me? Because any given time you can put them in our Beauty Inside and Out group. It's a prospecting group. There will be information dripped all the time in there. So you can tell them if you want to be in our challenge group and you'd like to see what it tastes like and see how simple it is. The beauty of what we do is see what it tastes like and see how simple it is to fit into your schedule. I don't know if you guys saw me do that live the other day, but on my wall talking about active and slim. But the beauty of Plexus is you're not counting carbs. You're not having to do major meal prepping. I mean, all of that is beneficial to you if you are. But figuring out if you can fit Plexus into a busy schedule is one of the number one things. And that's really the only thing that you can decide if you're doing like a 1-day sample or a 3-day sample is, can I tolerate the taste and can I fit this into my schedule? Because it's not 2 hours of cardio every day. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a totally different, it's a tool. Those other things are tools as well, but this is a tool that is not all consuming of your time. So depending on which trial group is running, you say, would you like to do that instead with me? When you give or mail 3 sticks of Slim to them, they can Venmo or PayPal you $6, and then you'll add them to the challenge page or create your own, have them visit the group and click join. Tag them on the welcome post before the group gets started. I don't think there's a welcome post in ours. That there sometimes is when we're doing an event. Let's see. Then you'll write their name down in your planner and check on them during the challenge when it starts. If you don't have this, make it. Search 3-day blitz in the Jewel. No. I'm going to have to go in there and edit this so it doesn't say stuff I don't want to say. I saved it to actually, Brittany's laughing at me. I saved it. That's my niece. I saved it and then posted in there without fact checking a few things. So, okay, it can't stop there though. We have to watch the post and follow up. You have to follow up with her about the people that we see posting. If no one comments, then we need to ask her as she's learned about Plexus. Have any friends or family come to mind that could be helped by our products? She's, oh yeah, my friend so-and-so, my mom. Then we need to say, oh my gosh, tell me about them. What health issues do they have? You're already focusing on how that person can go silver. That's the focus. When you are sponsoring someone, you're already focusing on them making their money back and paying for their product. Then we say, okay, great. When they ask what it is, tell me more. I'm interested. Then you follow with these same steps. Now, there's still quite a bit to read there. I just wanted to read enough that to you to get you to read it. That is how you develop silvers. Ever since I really began doing this business in a way that is consistent and works, I do something very similar to this exact thing. I haven't always done it exactly like this because we haven't always had send, share, and invite. But this is the way that you can develop silvers, and developing silvers is the very bread and butter of this business, because once people make a paycheck, everything changes. Everything changes. They decide, okay, I want to try this. I want to see what I can do. Until that, it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. I'm trying the products, whatever. Developing silvers is how you get to diamond. Developing silvers is how do you get to gold. It's how you get from gold to senior gold, and so on and so forth. That is send, share, invite, the power of 3, developing silvers. Going silver yourself every month. So even though it's not a rank every month, but actually sponsoring an average of 3 new people every month and teaching them how to go silver, that's how you go diamond. really, you can read the fine print. You can take Bob Heilig's class. You can read the back of every single bottle of product we have and have it memorized and know every answer to every question, and none of that, not a single piece of that, will get you to a diamond without Send, Share, Invite and developing silvers. In fact, if you're going to choose one or the other, skip Bob Heilig's course. Don't read the back of every single bottle and make sure you have the answer. If you're going to skip something, you can't skip developing silvers. And it all starts with making sure they have their link, making sure they know they have the graphics to send to people so they know how to order. Okay, this business can be very simple. Okay, I'm going to challenge you, Graciela, to say it differently. To begin to say, I'm going to challenge you because I know you'll let me do that. People are so stubborn that even when they get their money back. I am drawing people to me that actively want to work this business. People are attracted to my business and they want it for their lives too. Yes. Yes. Green light story. Green light story. Now, I can tell you that when you've experienced something one way, it's hard to flip that in your mind and start saying the opposite of it. I told a story in Don and Greg's group, and I'll make this really simple, but basically earlier this week, I saw hang on, I need to write something down so that it doesn't escape my brain. I think it already did. Just give me a second. Okay. Earlier this week, I was with a friend. Her daughter had ordered this gorgeous body pillow from Anthropology. I didn't know where it was from. I just said it, and I was like, I have to know where that's from. That is gorgeous. I don't need it any more than I need a lump on my head. But it was so cute. I was thinking, man, if they have that in a color scheme that would match my bedroom, I'm going to get me one of those. So her daughter comes in and says it's from Anthropology, and I immediately was like, oh, yeah, I'm probably not going to buy that. It was really cute. It had that kind of like macrame, had the tassel ends, and it kind of looked like it was made out of beige colored like rope macrame type stuff. You've seen those pillows that are kind of woven together or crocheted together or whatever. And but it had peach on it, wouldn't go in my bedroom, and it was like, I think it was $130. My daughter thought it was $200, but anyway, somewhere it was definitely over $130. It wasn't jute, it was soft, or at least it wasn't what I think is jute. It was soft like this. I'm going to show you if you can see. I'll show you. I'm zoomed in on it so you can see one edge of it, and then I'll show you the whole thing. None of this matters, by the way. I don't know why I'm sharing. I do know why I'm sharing this with you. I'm going to have to show you one that's a little darker so that you can see it. It's not a pretty picture, but you can see the little edge, pom-pom edges, and it's made out of like, it's a body pillow. It's made out of some sort of crochet stuff. Well, that's not the one that she had, but I came home and I told my husband the next day or the day after. He's like, I got up and I'm getting dressed. He's like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go find me. I think I done manifested me one of those pillows. And he's like, the pillow you were telling me about, like he cared. Yep, I'm going to go find me one. So I go, and sure enough, I walk into TJ Maxx, and there it is, the right colors and everything, and it's $30. And I'm like, boom, put it in my basket at TJ Maxx. It's not a very big basket. It's not even big enough for that pillow. This is the way I talk to myself, though. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and I'm going to find me one of those pillows, and it's going to be $100 less. I do think like that. I do talk like that. Ask my husband, ask my sister, ask my daughter. I talk like that. I know Erin does too. I know she's always manifesting awesome books from Mardell's, right? Yeah. I know that some of you, some of the others of you, you do these things in your mind where it's like, why not? Why not me? Why not me? There's that pillow sitting out there somewhere. Why not it be me that buy it? Why not it show up at the store where I shop? I'm just saying. Y'all probably think I'm nuts, but it doesn't bother me that you think I'm nuts because I have the pillow. You understand what I'm saying? Talk that way about your business. It's simple to develop that skill. That's the simplest skill on the planet. I'd rather learn how to do that than learn how to use a sewing machine, because then I don't even have to sew anything. I'm just talking to you the way it is. Why is it so hard to develop that skill? It's a simple skill to development. It's a very simple skill, and I am wishing that, praying that on you right now. It's a simple skill. I can't seem to remember to think that way. I'm always thinking about how to think that way. I'm doing it to you right now. I'm always thinking about, is there another area of my life where I could think that way? I'm always looking at my food and thinking, you know what? I bet I was taught wrong. I bet that food doesn't make you fat. I'm always looking at other little areas of my life and I'm like, you know what? I can totally afford to go to the movies with my friends. I can totally afford to do that. I can totally afford to do that. It's a different, you're putting something different. Let's say that it looks like particles. You're putting different particles out into the atmosphere. Let's call the other ones desperation particles. You put desperation particles, and there's this magnetism. I'm just going to tell you there is. This is scientifically proven. There's magnetism attached to whatever you put out there, whether it's in your thoughts. Oh, I'm sorry, Erin, you want to say something? I didn't even see you. Yes, go, girl, go.
Remember the conversation talking about the food, how it is like good for your body, or it's falling. Remember, I was driving somewhere. I was driving home from Ardmore. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And it was right when they came out with, tell them that story.
Balance.
Yes.
We were walking down my stairs in my house, and you go, you know, girl, I think I'm supposed to tell you, this is before they came out with balance. I think I'm supposed to say to you, remember that time when you were talking about the way food, you were talking about the way I pray. Like I say, God bless this food that the nourishment only would stick to my body, right? Am I saying it right? Okay. Only the nourishment, only what is beneficial to my body would stick and everything else would fall off. Y'all, it wasn't even a week or two, less than 10 days, I think.
Yes.
Announced balance. She's like, I feel like I'm supposed to say that to you right now. And I was like, there's a lot more backstory to that I'm not allowed to tell. Not from Erin. There's a lot of more to that backstory too, that I know that this combo is going to cause so much momentum. It already is. I am getting so much momentum just in the way that I do things, the way that I motivate throughout my day, the way I'm posting on Facebook. Everything has changed. Go ahead. Go.
I've known you for 6 years, and I have never, I'm allowed to tell this story, aren't I?
I don't know what you're going to say, but
about the laundry room. About the laundry room.
You can.
I'll be nice. No, I'll be nice. Okay. She's like, no, I came to her house. It was like 3-4 weeks ago. It was before I went to Pennsylvania this last time. It was after convention. And I have this weird thing that I like to fold towels. Like, I love folding towels. I've always liked to fold towels. She had some laundry in her laundry room, and I was like, oh, let me fold those towels for you. Because I love folding. Just, I could do it while I'm like talking, you know, and it's like a mindless thing for me. I love folding towels. So anyways, we literally got after like the few things that she had in her laundry room, and Jetty and Trip.
There was a lot.
I am lying. Don't catch me lying. But we got after it, and it was done by the time that Jetty and Trip like both got home, and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, all we did was get her active, like literally, because that was not even like, oh no, you had your Metaburn too. But like, I mean, I've known this woman 6 years, and I have never known her to be like she is right now. And I'm not being like hateful about the way she was before. I'm just saying, like, I know it to be true by seeing it in her house. Like, she's not having like her housekeeper clean her house and then post pictures of it. Like, that's stuff that she's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
I will say this too. It's not making me buzz like I feel like, ooh, it's not doing that. It's focus. I have in the past struggled to stay focused on something. And also I had this thing in the back of my brain, if I'm being completely honest, that I would look at an overwhelming laundry room or overwhelming kitchen. And I have, it's weird to think that there's something sort of perfectionistic that causes this, because something in me goes, I want that to look a certain way, and that's going to take all day. And I don't want to give it all day. Or it might even take, some of this stuff might take weeks, depending on what the problem is. And it's like, I don't even want to get up and do a tenth of it because of the perfection thing. Kind of like, I want it to be done. And it's not even laziness, even though it probably has looked like that. It has more to do with focus. It's like literally, somebody told me one time, start in a room and start at 12 o'clock in the room. Like, look right here in front of you. That's 12 o'clock. Work from 12 o'clock over to 2 o'clock and do that much of the room. I'm like, you're crazy. That's crazy. I don't even know what that. It has made all the difference in my world knowing that one little thing. Start at 12 o'clock in the room and move to 2 o'clock and then move to 4 o'clock or whatever. That way you can see the progress as it's happening. You can literally see progress as you're moving around the room. Pick something up once. That's another thing I've learned. Don't pick it up, look at it, set it back down somewhere else. Don't pick it up and move it to another room unless that's where it lives. All this stuff. Y'all didn't get on here for cleaning tips, but I'm telling you right now, my life is totally different. My bedroom, that was a picture I took today. I posted a picture earlier before I put all my new pillows and stuff on it. I posted it in the group. Then I put the new pillows on it and tidied up a couple of other little things. I took that picture this morning. I showed the picture to Jetty. I was like, remember when our room looked like this? Because right after I cleaned the room, I was making the bed every single day. And I've kept the room very clean. Cleaner, Jetty, has our room been this clean in 20 years? All we need is a yes or no. No. He says, nope.
You haven't put me in your room before, because it was never up until like that time, like 3 weeks. I mean, whenever it was, like, you never let me up there because it wasn't like, company worthy.
Oh,
I'm cracking up. I'm cracking up because he's like, no, nope, never. All these one little words.
Lots of times. The only flat surface in our bedroom, right? The only flat surface in our bedroom that didn't have stuff stacked miles high on it was the bed. And even then, sometimes there was stuff stacked miles high on the bed. Every dresser, sometimes even the floor. It was a mess. And I'm talking, y'all, I have a housekeeper. She wasn't allowed in there. It was bad. I'm just
giving not now.
You can make a mental picture of your own. Me, I'm going to show y'all one more time because I just showed you a pillow a minute ago. I'm going to show you how cute it looks.
Okay, I just have to say that you posting your picture of your bed today on Facebook was like, holy crap. She just posted her bedroom on Facebook.
Yeah, it looks so good.
I know you well enough here in Kentucky that was like, because that made me make my bed and post a picture. I did.
Only the toilet. What did my husband say? Only the toilet lid didn't have anything. I asked him for a yes or no. He's in there laughing. That's the truth. That's the truth. It was bad. We had learned, and I'm going to tell you something. I sleep so much better now that there's not stuff everywhere. I will tell you, making a lot of money does not make all of that problem go away. That is here. That needed fixing, and I'm just going to say it's fixed, and I'm so thankful that Active has come along into my life. I can focus. I love it. Okay, wait. I got to get back. Okay, one last thing I want to focus on. I am like everywhere tonight. I feel like we've been on here for an hour and we've only been on here for 35 minutes. This is the best day ever. I can still talk just a little bit longer. I want to talk about two different kinds of difficult. Two different kinds of difficult. It can be overwhelming to think of getting outside your comfort zone and inviting someone to a Facebook event. It can be uncomfortable reaching out to them and saying anything about the Plexus business. It can be uncomfortable to post about Plexus on Facebook. This is something I know. But somewhere along the journey of your life, there was a box that you checked. I'm just going to say, this is what I'm visualizing right now, that said, are you okay with giving 40 hours a week to someone that you barely know and taking very minimal compensation for doing so and making them rich? ? And you said, yeah, I guess I am. I'm not sure if public school teaches us that. I know when I was in DECA, which was like distributive education, which was like marketing in high school, one time somebody asked my teacher, what's the difference between DECA and FBLA, which is like Future Business Leaders of America? Two occupational type is like FFA, FHA, OSHA, or whatever, health stuff. And then there's like marketing, and then there's FBLA. There's all these different organizations that have state officers, and they teach you different types of vocational training. My teacher said the difference between DECA and FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, is FBLA teaches you how to be a great secretary. DECA teaches you how to have a secretary. And I was like, phew, I'm glad I'm in DECA because I don't really want to be a secretary. Nothing wrong with being a secretary, but nobody wants me and all my sticky notes and piles of ish to be their secretary. This is something I can assure you. Not made for it. Here's even better. If FBLA teaches you to be a secretary and DECA teaches you to have a secretary, network marketing can put you in a position, if you choose, that uncomfortable, that style of uncomfortable. Not the one I'm right now in the spiritual right now. I say, I uncheck the box that says I was going to give 40 hours of my week to anybody. No one owns 40 hours of my week unless I choose to give it to them. And if I have ever agreed to it in my mind, my heart, my soul, and said, yeah, I'm just going to donate, I'm going to give you 40 hours a week for $10 an hour. If I've ever agreed to that, I come out of agreement with that in the supernatural, in the spiritual, and in the physical. I'm not in agreement with owing anyone 40 hours a week so that their business can prosper and flourish. And I don't necessarily want to be someone's secretary. I don't necessarily want a secretary. Did you know that Plexus Corporate is my secretary? They ship all my things. They keep my website running, yo. They do this for $40 a year. They ship my product out. They do customer service. They answer the call when somebody needs to call in and ask a question. Yeah, for $40 a year. I don't even have to know I have a secretary. I don't have anybody that I have to answer to except for God and my family. I'm not answering to anybody earthly other than family. There are lots of jewels out there that have assistants, and they know exactly what to assign to their assistants. That, even the thought of that overwhelms me, because then they'd be showing up being like, what you want me to do, fold your towels? I'd be like, I don't know, because I spent the day at Hobby Lobby today, and Ross, or actually TJ Maxx, whatever, and I didn't know yesterday that that's what I was going to do, because that's a freedom I have now because of network marketing. And I will tell you this, not every network marketing company has it going on. In fact, I don't know of another one that pays as well, is as fair, and that has products that actually change people's lives. I mean, we are the trifecta. We are the trifecta. We have management that with integrity. I'm talking about upper management, corporate. We have management with integrity. We have products where some people will sing the praises of Plexus to an uncomfortable degree. Like where you're going, it's okay, all I did was share something with you, because it's embarrassing how much someone will say about how much the products change their life. And to those who decide and flip the switch on and decide, I'm burning the boat, I'm taking the island, this is mine. For those who make that decision, the compensation plan can be so rewarding that you can spend the day like I did today. Or there's this area that I love. It's kind of the zone where you can be a good enough leader. You're willing to help people. Really, all you have to have is a good heart to be able to do what I'm about to describe to you. You're willing to get outside your comfort zone. You're willing to be a leader. Maybe you don't want to be seen on stage, or maybe you don't, and maybe all you want to do is make like $800 or $2,000 extra a month. Maybe that's what you want. There's a zone in there. Now, I will tell you, once you get there, you start going, whoa, that was pretty cool. Let's see what else I can do. But if that is your zone, you got to get there. And that requires getting out of your comfort zone. You got to stay there, and your comfort zone is different by the time you get there, by the way. Your comfort zone has expanded because you've learned. You got to stay there by loving on people and treating people right so that you have that residual income coming in. You got to learn to talk different. If you don't do anything, even if you leave my team, even if you leave Plexus and you didn't learn anything from me other than how to talk about yourself right, how to talk about your business right, positive words coming out your mouth. If you don't learn that, you won't get anywhere. That is going to be the key, and it's not difficult. Okay. Yeah. Show us. Pull it back just a little bit. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to do Plexus full time. What does the bottom part say? Thank him before it happens. That was something that she wrote before that happened.
I was a senior gold. No, I was gold when I wrote this, and I put it on my computer at work. And I still have this. I will literally have this until the day I die, because this is just an affirmation. This is an affirmation that I actually believed. It wasn't something that I just wrote out. Like, I believed it. I spoke it. I got made fun of because of it. And that lady that made fun of me is making in retirement. No, she's not even retired. She's like 62, and she's probably maybe making $2,000 a month. And she's miserable as sin because she is working 45 hours a week as a social worker.
Yeah. Yes. Y'all, there's something inside me, I think probably being raised by a used car dealer, okay, that won't let me go. Like, once I start feeling like I am cheerleading or excited too much, I draw myself back because I grew up in the house with an exaggerator. And I spent a lot of time being disappointed by exaggeration. Like, next year, we're going to go to Colorado. And you're like, oh, wow, I can't wait. And then you find out that is not going to happen. I mean, like, whatever. Or I'm going to get, when you're 16, baby girl, you're going to have any car you want. Because the car lot. And it's like, no. Being around that makes me verge on the careful there, easy there, girl, and I put my integrity above all other aspects of leadership. Like, if I find out that I told you something that's wrong, I can't get back to you fast enough. It's rare that I say something that's wrong because, I'm just going to say, not because I'm always right, but it's rare that I say something that's wrong because I'm so careful. Like, I got to know that it's right before I'm going to say it. That's just part of my personality. And the reason I'm even talking about this is because I'm so excited right now. Like, with everything on the inside of my heart, like I feel like my heart is busting out of my chest. And y'all, I had some devastating things happen in June. In my business. Weird circumstances. And guess what I've learned from those weird circumstances? It did not rob me of my joy, my excitement, or the ability to make this business go like double diamond, back to the top again. It did not rob me in any shape, form, or fashion. First of all, I was careful with my words. I kept my integrity at the very top of my list, and I spoke life over that situation as though my life depended on it. And it is so silent now, the problem, the issue, the thing, it's as though it never happened. And in fact, it made me an incredibly better leader because it's like, we'll see, won't we? I got a big fat we'll see, won't we on my shoulders right now. I don't know if you know that was like, and also I am really excited about the future enough that I'm willing to repeat myself saying that again and again and again, because the season of Plexus that we're in is like the season it was in when I joined. It is. It's like that season, like down to the nth degree, because I feel that way again physically. I have that excitement in my heart, in my mind. The best part about it now is I have a team of people who are hungry for it and are desiring to make those changes, desiring to do what it takes, basically, to get the ball rolling. Well, let me check my notes one more time. Different kinds of hard. There's different kinds of hard. If you've marked a box that says, yeah, I'll put my kid in daycare and I'll give you 40 hours a week. And if that's not what you want, say, you know what, I'm going to uncheck that box. Maybe that is my reality right this minute, but it's not something that I want to just agree to. In the spiritual, I want to come out of agreement with signing my name to that blank. I want it erased from the record. Can we do that right now together? If there's something you have signed up to that you're like, that's the kind of heart I don't want to be part of. Like, that's the comfort zone issue I don't want to be part of. That will make space inside your heart to open yourself to do things that maybe you thought were uncomfortable. Maybe you thought, it's going to be too uncomfortable to talk to so-and-so about this business. I don't know enough about this. I don't know enough about this. That's why we do these launch groups. That's why we do these events. So you don't have to feel like you have to know everything right now. You can just get in there, give it your best, add people to the group, and be excited with me. Trust me when I say that I have enough to go around. I have enough to go around right now. Be excited. Speak. There is a scene from Jerry Maguire that used to be one of my favorite movies where he is like, I'm going to find it. We're going to watch it. Give me just a second. It's about his mission statement. it's like he figures out that the reason he's been doing all the things, he's been doing things for all the wrong reasons. I feel like him right now. I'm going to start it over. He does this crazy thing. If you've never seen the movie, he writes out this mission statement. It's how I feel right now because I feel like I'm all cracked out right now. And he like writes this mission statement and he takes and copies it and he puts it in every single box. Like, this is the company we should be. This is the way we should be focused. And all the powers that be are like, dude, you lost your marbles. Like, we're just going to stick with our stuff. I feel like Jerry Maguire right now. And I'm going, who's with me? Who's with me? Dorothy? Dorothy? The goldfish? Yes. Dorothy? Okay. Who's with? With. Remember? Remember? With or without? Yeah. Okay.
I began writing what they call a mission statement.
Can you hear it?
Not a memo, a mission statement. You know, a suggestion for the future of our company. I like this doesn't come along very often.
Can you hear it? I'll just hold your horses. I'll get it on the computer. Oh, Jetty's going, you're holding it up to the camera, not the mic. Jetty, why do I have you for such as this, right? Right here? It's okay. I'll turn it on the computer. One moment, please, everyone. And then we'll pray. Watch this be all wrong, but I think it's right. This used to be one of my very favorite movies.
Everyone's always like, do Denzel. And I'm like, I see you. Oh, man, genuinely upsets me when you do it.
You show up for the people who matter the most to you.
Good luck, guys. Love will find a way. Well, I'll wait here just in case it doesn't.
I began writing what they call a mission statement.
Hang on, I'll turn it where you can actually see it. No, thanks.
I began writing what
Y'all can tell I planned this out, right? Oh, here we go.
a mission statement. Not a memo, a mission statement. You know, a suggestion for the future of our company. A light like this doesn't come along very often. A season. What started out as one page became 5. Suddenly, I was my father's son again.
It was my father's son
Remembering
again.
the simple pleasures of this job. How I ended up here out of law school. The way a stadium sounds when one of my players performs well on the field. The way we are meant to protect them. Health and so many times we had forgotten what was important. Road. I'm not even a writer. I was remembering the word the original sport David, my mentor, the late David Fox, who said, "The key to this business is personal relationships." Suddenly it was all pretty clear. The answer was fewer clients, less money, more attention, caring for ourselves and the games too, just starting our lives. Really. Hey, I'll be first. What I was writing was somewhat touchy feely. I didn't care. I've lost the ability to bullshit. It was the me I'd always wanted to be. I took in a bag to a copy mat in the middle of the night and printed up 110 copies. Even the cover looked like The Catcher in the Rye. I entitled it, "Things We Think and Do Not Say. The Future of Our Business." I was 35. I started my life. Like you do. Utterly.
And then the rest of the movie is the unraveling of him getting fired for the mission statement and then coming back around into where his business meant something to him. It had heart in it, and he ended up being on top in the end. I feel this movie right now. It's like I'm channeling this movie right now. Everything about it. I gotta catch up in the. Oh, Erin, will you share really quick what was in the ambassador group?
They announced tonight that they are going to be doing 2, maybe 3. I was having a hard time understanding that. We'll be getting an email tomorrow. They're going to have what's called a Rise Up, Rank Up training where they're going to be bringing it to different cities. So they're going to bring it to California, and then there's going to be one in San Antonio and Houston, and then Virginia and Annapolis. Annapolis is like right next to Virginia. I don't know. But anyways, East Coast has got something covered also. It's not going to be in like a ton of cities like Super Saturday, but then they're also doing, in correlation with like a spring tour, they're doing an Express Live. So like where they're doing those trainings, they've done 2 of them now. They're actually doing them in several locations, Santa Monica or somewhere in California, and then McKinney. And then also they're going to be doing one in Philadelphia. So yes, so that'll be really exciting. So, and on Friday night before the Express, there'll be like a sip and share available for you to bring guests to as well. So it's somewhat similar to like the Super Saturday, but not exactly. But they Matthew and Sam and is it Byron or
Brian.
Brian, thank you.
It looks like.
Yeah. That'll be emailed tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. For those of you who are not part of it, you can search on Facebook for the Plexus Ambassador Community Facebook group. And when they make announcements from corporate, yeah, that's who is in it. You're right, Brian. They will, not that I was doubting you, I'm just happened to see his face on the video. So, when they make announcements from corporate, they go live in that group lots of times, or sometimes they load videos and announcements in that group. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to really quick read what Graciela said. That's awesome, Becky. Challenging, I know. Very uncomfortable. Oh, that's right. That was today. Woo. Is there a place that we can watch that, Graciela? I know some people might like to see that. I'm really proud of you.
Yes, I posted in the group. Please, they're gonna share it in. Thank you. Oh my God, I was so nervous, but I felt confident. I think I made it through.
Butterfly page. Okay. I apologize. I hadn't seen that yet. Like I said, I've been in town all day. So that is excellent. For those of you who would like to watch that, I'm going to go watch it after this call. So, okay. Does anybody have anything else?
Graciela, I would love to share your video in Spanish on my timeline. But what's holding me back is I want to reach out in Spanish to just my Spanish-speaking friends. In other words, I don't want to say, which one of my friends out there, that are Spanish-speaking would like to hear something in Spanish. I would like to say it in Spanish. Is there something that, maybe you could type up, or I know I'm just putting you on the spot here, but I mean, if we could kind of copy and paste in Spanish.
I mean, if you want something like that, just message me and tell me what you want to say in English, and maybe I can translate it for you, because obviously I can say something that I may share, but maybe it's not what you want to say. So just send it over to me and I'll translate it and post it up. Okay? Good.
Also, if someone's too bashful to reach out to Graciela, you can do that. There is a English to Spanish, Spanish to English translator. Like if you just type in Google English to Spanish translator, you can type in something. This is how I communicate with my housekeeper.
Well, that's a good, but I will tell you something. Translators are,
I'm sure they're not the best.
and I'm not saying I have the best translation, I don't know, way to do it, but I'm a little bit more fluent since I'm from Mexico City, so many people can connect with me that is more proper than, you know, when you're living in the country and stuff like that. So
I totally believe it.
So if you need something,
I was trying to save you from getting 35 messages.
No, that's fine. I don't mind. I will tell you something really ironic. When I was in high school, mommy, stop. When I arrived to US, I supposed to be senior, so I had to drop out 1 year for the language. So when I bring my credits from Mexico, I didn't. Si no te calmas, te voy a quitar el teléfono. ¿Oíste? Te lo voy a quitar. Stop. Okay. I tried her to take my phone away from her. So, like I said, I dropped out 1 year so I can be more fluent with it. I mean, I knew some English, but I wasn't, you know, my ear wasn't used to English, so I had to drop out. So I brought my credits from Mexico, and then they just put me like class to fill my schedules. They were like ceramics, like PE, the ESL classes that is for Spanish speakers, stuff like that. So they put me in this class that is Spanish for, you know, children like my daughter, that they were born here in US and they don't have the proper Spanish, you know, like grammar and stuff like that. So our teacher was from, I mean, she lived in Mexico for, I guess, 15 years. I don't remember where, but she lived there. So sometimes, obviously, she made quizzes with, you know, she tells the word and then they were writing it and, you know, the accents, everything. And sometimes she just gets next to me and is like, is that right? Is that right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Now, am I supposed to be just the teacher? But I understand what she means. Monday. See me now. So that's why, like, okay, so hit me up and I'll translate you for you.
It's so kind of you. I appreciate you being willing to do that. If you happen to come up with the perfect thing to say that goes with your video, if you would share it in the butterfly page with the video and people could grab it, that would be awesome. We would appreciate that more than we could explain. That's pretty amazing.
Well, basically the call was the same thing as the English one. It's exactly the same thing. It's just that, for example, for me, you know, when they invite you, that they're saying a little bit of their story, it's the same thing that I did about myself. You know, how I started with Plexus, when, you know, how long I've been on it, and for example, for the products, what they've done for me. For the business, I didn't do it that way. I just kind of said that there were a lot of, you know, stories about opportunity, but pretty much I focus on the opportunity that Mexico will bring us next year. So, for example, I say for people who is in Mexico, I mean, he's in US, to join now and start working their business. And when Mexico arrive, they can, you know, get people in and just sign up. And if they're on Mexico, to start watching and, you know, get information, ask questions or whatever, so they, whenever the time is ready for them, do it right there. You know, so that's pretty much it.
Okay, that's awesome. It's making me think I want to kind of post that in the Beauty Inside and Out group and just see if anybody would latch onto it in there. If we have anybody who only speaks Spanish or anybody who's bilingual in there who would like to share it, that's awesome. We appreciate it very much. Your willingness to help out all the gringos is amazing. I was out in the pool.
That's what I'm for.
I have to tell you the cutest thing. My brother, well, he looked a lot like me. Tall, redheaded, very fair skin. But he worked at El Chico. That's where he learned to speak Spanish. So it was like you're talking about, it was like street Spanish. He knew how to speak it. And he loved, I don't know what the proper way to say this is, because I don't know if quinceañeras and all that kind of stuff is considered to be Mexican or Spanish. Is that considered to be Mexican culture or Hispanic?
Okay. I'm gonna make a little parenthesis there.
Okay.
Spanish is the people from Spain. Okay.
Right.
Hispanic is everybody in Latin America. Down south, Spanish speakers. Okay. Yeah, it's actually Spanish people. It goes into the Hispanic community because we all speak Spanish. Because some people and I'm saying this because now you remind me of when I was in high school. That everybody, I have this counselor that he was from Puerto Rico, and he said, he mentioned white. I don't mean to offend it. That's the way that word he used it. He said, white guys, they don't know where you come from. They just think you're Mexican. Everybody that speaks Spanish is Mexican, and it's not. I mean, we cannot differentiate the same way as you difference Yankees with powder. It's the same thing. The accent say it all, so you know where you come from. But I just want to make a parenthesis so you know, because people say that I'm not from Spain. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know why they get offended, but that's the way it is.
No, that's good. See, okay, like my brother's personality was a lot like mine, and he did really well, like mingling in the, I'd say, Hispanic community with Mexicans. Okay, right? And he did really well because of the fact he didn't care for asking stupid questions. He was like, okay, so teach me this. Teach me. Literally, he went to a lady's house to learn how to make a piñata. Like, not how to stuff one, how to make one, the shape of a watermelon or whatever her daughter wanted. I don't remember. And he wanted to learn how to make tortillas. He wanted to learn all this kind of stuff. Well, also, he loved Mexican women. Like, he dated them. They loved him. He loved them. That's part of the reason he probably wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. Anyway, so that was so much a part of his life that it makes me sad that I didn't take more time and just say, teach me how to speak before he died, because I would have loved to have learned it from him. Not that it's too late for me to learn. And I would have loved to been more part of that life. I was still very young and didn't make that a priority. Who thought he was going to die when he's 28 years old, right? Anyway, last night I was out in a swimming pool. I got home from our comedy. We went to a comedy night. I came home and I was just in a really good mood. I was literally just in a tank top and like tank top and swimming bottoms or whatever. And I just go out and get in the swimming pool. And I tell it to play a certain song, and the next song that popped into my mind was a George Strait song that we played at my brother's funeral. It was called The Seashores of Old Mexico. I don't know if you know the song, but anyway, it's about this old cowboy who runs into this beautiful Mexican woman, and he says, she loved a gringo, my red hair and lingo, and that's all I needed to know, that the things would blow over on the seashores of old Mexico. I was thinking about that song last night. Anyway, while you're talking, every time I'm around you, it makes me think of my brother, and he was as redheaded and white as I am, but learning to understand the culture is going to be amazing for us, and I just appreciate your willingness for all of it. Okay, hang on. Somebody's asked a question. I don't want to. Oh, okay. Becky is just saying what she would like to say. So I love her to make good tortillas. My brother could cook all of that food, all that yummy, awesome food, and he knew how to spice it right. Also, one time, my brother loved food that apparently it takes I'm loosely calling all my friends white people, although I have people of every color that are my friends. But what's funny is to watch white people go by the little snow cone stands, like in the ice cream snow cone. What are those called? Do you know?
We were driving down the road in Dallas.
They were driving down the road in Dallas, and there was like a little chest type thing that they had these.
The guy was pushing it down the road, and
the guy was pushing it down the road.
Like spun a U-turn.
My brother spun a U-turn to go back.
I was like,
what are you doing? What are you doing? Jenny's like, what are you doing?
He goes, I'm gonna get us some ice cream.
I'm gonna get us some ice cream.
I was stoked. I was like, yeah, all right, I like ice cream.
Jenny was stoked.
He said, I'll pick it out for you. I was like, oh, okay.
Luke wanted to pick it out for him.
Gave it to me. It had chili powder on it.
He handed it to Jenny, and Jenny took one bite, and it's covered in chili powder. You know, like mango flavored or something, but it's covered in chili powder. And my brother loved that. Like, that was his favorite. And so Jenny took a bite of it. Jenny was a little too white for it. Okay, I'm just gonna say Jenny's a little too white. He's like, start spitting out the window, and he's like about to throw it out the window, and Luke's like, no, give that to me. He loved all of that. Oh my goodness. So,
well, now that you mentioned, I gotta say something. The ones that you said that the ice was scraping is raspados. That's how it's called. You know, they scrape the ice block.
Okay, yes.
And they put stuff in it.
Okay.
That's called raspados. Probably that's what it is. But the one that he ordered that day probably was the Diablito. That it has chili and all that stuff. And that reminds me that my husband, there was this time that we went to Chicago. We don't go to Chicago that often. But anyway, we went driving around, and suddenly he's like, driving by streets, and I'm like, where are we going? And he's like, oh, I'm looking that raspado stand that there would used to be around here. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're looking for African raspado. So until he found it, that's what he got. I'm like, really? African raspado? So
Luke used to bring candies, and the candies would be like Jolly Ranchers. It was not, but it was Jolly Ranchers with chili powder. And they kind of use it spicy, kind of like as if you dip something in cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Different, I know, but I'm saying for people who've never tried it and you're going, what? The chili powder kind of is the spice for it, kind of like cinnamon, right? Wouldn't you say? That's kind of okay. Not
it's,
that
well, it can be chili, but it can be anything, like something that they can put, you know, for the fruit or stuff like that. So it's just powdered chili. That's pretty much it.
Powdered chili, yes.
Yeah.
You bring home all those spices. Okay, I'm for real gonna pray over us. I appreciate your willingness. I'm appreciating all of you who've stayed on here this long. I'm trying to see who all is still on here. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of our little call tonight. Everybody say cheers. Awesome. Okay. Father God, we just come to you tonight with grateful hearts. Lord, would you remind us? I'm just asking as your daughter that you would remind us, like a little red flag, every time we try to speak something on ourselves, on our lives, on our families, on our businesses, Lord, that does not come into agreement with what your plan for us is, with like the identity that you have mapped out for us from the time before the foundations of the earth. I believe with all my heart that we all had a destiny, a plan, and it was born before we were. And God, I'm thankful for that tonight. I'm thankful that I can choose to be on the fast track by coming into agreement with your plan for my life. Tonight, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I come into agreement. By the way, I'm praying in first person. You can pray this with me. God, I come into agreement with your plan for my life. I'm just going to throw this out there and say, perhaps your life up to this point has included reckless choices, or like what you would say is sinful nature. But I just want to tell you right now, you can come out of agreement with that. You can say, I I know I'm made for more, and I don't want to be partnering with the enemy in any aspect of my life. Not in my choices, not in my words. I'm not going to agree with the enemy that this is too difficult. People don't want to this. I'm not going to agree with the enemy. Those are the enemy's words. I come into agreement with God's plan. God, I ask that you would literally erase, and I declare crop failure on every word we have ever spoken, every thought we have ever had that did not line up with divine purpose, heaven purpose, keys to the kingdom, the purpose for our lives. I say, may every seed that we have planted in frustration, every seed that we have planted in disgust or anger or rage or disappointment or doubt, or false identity, confusion about how much you desire for us to thrive and prosper. Every seed that we have planted that is the opposite of your plan for our lives, God, that you would literally wipe that seed as though we never planted it in the ground, as though we never fertilized it, as though we never watered it. Lord, give us fertile soil to drop new seeds in. I hope you guys are getting a vivid picture. Pluck them from the roots. Some of these seeds have turned into plants, weeds really. Some of the seeds that you've planted in frustration, imagine like spitting out a watermelon seed of frustration, spitting out a seed of, have you ever seen somebody like spit a watermelon seed in their yard and then it grows? Imagine if it's the seed of frustration and it's fallen into fertile soil. I mean, God gives us the fertile soil. And then it's growing a weed inside your heart, inside your life story. It's growing a weed in your timeline. It has grown a weed in your timeline. And I want you to visualize it being plucked. Throw it away. God, we know that you are faithful to wipe the story clean. That's the story of the gospel. All clean. Start brand new. And tonight is the night. What are we on? August 7th? Yeah. August 7th, 2019. My story started for real. Like the truth inside me. The switch flipped. And if I ever try to plant those seeds again, something will tug inside my heart and say, what are you doing? No more. Life abundant. It's a simple plan of action. It's simple to change your words. I'd much rather change my words than slaughter a hog and make lye soap, okay? That's not simple. I'd much rather change my words than go out and wring the neck of a chicken and make a fried chicken. I'd much rather change my words because that is something I have power over without doing anything. I can do it while I sit here. I can do it before I go to bed tonight. I can do it while I take my bath. I can do it while I'm washing my face. I can do it when I'm making breakfast. I can do, it's completely effortless if you choose it to be effortless. God, help us redirect our focus to know that we are chosen. It's why we're here. For such a time as this, we are here. We are living in unprecedented times in the history of the world. We are living in unprecedented times in the history of the world, and we are not here by accident. God has a job for me. God has a job for you. Just think about that. You weren't chosen until now. Like, your number didn't call until this unprecedented time. Yep, it's her time. It's time for her to be born. There are things that need to be done that only she can do. Put those seeds in your soil. And shower those seeds with integrity and truth, belief, love, and relationship. Water those seeds, kindness, compassion, putting others first, but also taking care of yourself. Don't put yourself last. God, strengthen your righteousness inside me. Let righteousness rise up inside of me. Give me a new standard of faith for the calling that you've called me to. Raise the standard of faith. By grace, Lord, raise that standard of faith inside me to do all the things. To be the mom, to be the dad, to be the sister, the friend, the caregiver, the neighbor, the uncle, the family friend. Let's face it, some of us are basically guardian angels to people out there. I'm using that term loosely, but you understand, like, there is a court case going on in the town I live in right now that apparently is an abuse case that is so horrendous that people were like, you can't even look at the pictures. And there are people out there who are called to be the new mama and daddy of those foster children. And you have a moment like that in your life too. Like, you might have multiple moments like that in your life where God is like, this is what you were born for. Rip out the weeds, girl. Quit telling yourself lies. Quit agreeing with the enemy about staying small. Get yourself free from the 40-hour week check mark that you checked because you thought it was tradition and comfortable. Bring your baby home from daycare. Do what it takes. Whatever it is. For you, it's a different story for everybody. We all have different stories. God, open our hearts. Open our eyes. Open all our senses to what your story is for us. And then, God, give us the grace to get outside our comfort zone and do the things. Let your Holy Spirit fire fall on literally every word that was of you tonight, Lord. May those who are on this call who are really reaching out and grabbing this tonight, because I can feel it, some of you are really latching on and grabbing it. May this fire of the Holy Spirit anointing be on these words that we are speaking tonight in a way that gives it wings. I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Whew, sweating. Thanks for hopping on here tonight, you guys. You're all loved and appreciated. I pray that you speak that over yourselves every day. I'm loved and appreciated. My family is loved and appreciated. Okay. I think we're out of here. Anybody have anything else they need to say, share, whatever? Few amens. Amen. 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 All right. Night, everybody. I'll have this posted by the morning.